everyone, it's Tina with Dirty Pour Designs Virtual Studio, checking in with you guys today. I wanted to show you something fun you can do with some of that leftover paint. So maybe you've done one of our video kits or one of our virtual events, and if you haven't, go onto our website and you can do one now. But we always end up giving you too much paint. We want to make sure you have enough, but sometimes that ends up meaning that you have leftover. So we are going to make an acrylic skin cell phone case like this one here. All right, let's get started. As always, you want to go ahead and make sure you protect your work surface before we start making a mess. I'm going to be pouring my acrylic skin inside of this cookie sheet. You can also use a silicone mat. You can pour directly on a plastic tablecloth. You can even just line this with something plastic or something silicone so that it's not going to stick to it. I'm just doing a nice clean cookie sheet though, so that'll work for today. You're also going to need a cutting tool. You can use something like this, like an X-Acto knife, or you can also trace out the design and use scissors if you would rather. You're going to need a clear phone case. I just ordered this offline and it's a phone case that fits my phone. So it's just a plain clear phone case. Put that there. And then I just finished a pour and I had this leftover paint. I'm gonna grab an empty cup. This is gonna be my dirty pour cup. And I'm just going to layer my paints into my cup. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just throwing this leftover paint in here and we're gonna just see what happens. Got a little bit of this. You may have to check your consistencies. These sat for a little bit, so I probably should have thinned them out. If you need to, go ahead and thin yours out, just like we always do, where it's like warm honey, melted ice cream, chocolate syrup, that same consistency. All right, I think that looks good. I'm going to take one of my stir sticks. I'm just gonna make an X through it. There we go. That's just going to help move the paints around a little bit. And then I'm going to just flip that over right into the center of my pan. Let it drip down for a few seconds. All right. There we go. And then you're going to pick it up. You do want to make sure you're using something that you can pick up. So if you are using a tablecloth, cut it out, put it onto a pan, put it onto a tray, something that you can move around. Make sure you tilt it around until it's big enough that it's going to cover the surface of your phone case. And we want it to be not super thin, but we don't want it to be too thick either. So I'm going to kind of tilt it out. It would probably be about the same thickness of cardstock. So if you were into scrapbooking, about scrapbooking material. All right. This actually looks kind of neat. I like it. So I think that should be good. I'm giving myself just a little bit of extra skin here to work with so it changes as it dries. All right, I think that should be fine. That'll fit just fine. That'll be neat. So I'm gonna set this aside and show you one that's already dried. This is on a much bigger, move these out of the way. This is a much bigger pan here, but you'll get the same idea. All right, so when this dries, you're gonna peel it off of the pan. Just find a side that's easy to peel. As you're peeling, just peel a little bit at a time and rolling it back. You wanna try to keep the underside away from sticking to itself. So I'm gonna actually just fold that back so it's not gonna stick to itself and keep pulling it up. I love revealing the acrylic skin because what's on top never looks like what's on the bottom. Isn't that fun? So you don't know what you're going to get. I'm just gonna keep pulling it up a little at a time. I let this dry for about 2 weeks just to make sure it was completely dry. Let's set this aside. All right, so now we need to decide what side we're going to use. This is that top surface. Just kind of set that on there. Let's see how it looks. It's kind of fun, lots of color. Or you can flip it over and use something on this side. I don't know, I think I kind of like that dramatic white splash there in the center. Not fun? Okay, so I definitely think this is the side that I want. So what I want to do though, is because when I cut it, if I was to lay this on the side that I want, when I went to cut it, it's gonna end up being the reverse. So I'm going to flip it over. And I don't care if it was exactly there, but I know that my white side was over on this side. You can see it here. So that's what it's gonna be like. Move it that way just a little bit, I kinda like that. And then I'm gonna flip it back And then this is where you could trace it out if you wanted to and then use scissors to cut it. Or I'm gonna go ahead and use my knife here and just cut it out. Kids, if you're watching this video, make sure you get your parents to help you with this part. Be careful, these are sharp. Just going to cut directly on the skin around the shape of my cell phone case. All the way around. Pressing pretty firmly just to make sure it cuts it. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the center here for my camera. All right, it cuts pretty smooth, so you shouldn't have any issues with it. As I pull it away, I'll know if I missed any spots like that. So I'm going to use my knife and just cut out that side there. Okay, and then you can pull it up. Cut through the paper. Be careful whatever you're cutting on because it will cut all the way through. I don't mind, this is my work table, so it's been cut plenty of times. All right, let's pop that camera section out. And again, I'm being careful that I don't let this underside touch itself. It's pretty sticky. So now I'm gonna take my phone case. Got my phone case here. It's clear, it's kind of hard to see. See it better there? Got my phone case and I'm just going to lay my skin right inside the case. There we go. If it's too sticky, you can actually just lay it out on the flip side to dry for a couple more days, facing the underside facing up, but this actually works out really well. So I'm just going to push that in, make sure it's flat. Get the air bubbles out by just pressing. And then there we go. I've got my phone case. And it's very pretty. Completely unique. No one else will have my phone case, and no one else will have yours either. All right, I hope you had fun making your acrylic skin cell phone cover. Be sure to check out our website and join us for one of our virtual events.